The Comedy Grinder. Streaming live worldwide from the First Church of Cannabis. Tonight, Jonathan Pfendler, Randy Rollins.
What's up with all the people holding signs on street corners? That drives me nuts. I'm an entertainer. You want my money? Entertain me. So what I do is I walk the streets of any big city I'm in looking for signs that I think are funny. If they're funny, they make me laugh, I give them money. Last week I saw one, love it. I ain't gonna lie, it's for beer. Here's $5. A little while later, I see another one. Ninjas kidnapped my wife. Need money for karate lessons. Here's $10. That's funny. The last one I saw was a black gentleman on the ground, no arms, no legs, and the sign said, "Give me $1. Don't make me put a boot in your ass." Here's $50, man. Go buy whatever you want. I thought that was hilarious. But about a year or two ago, I was in Alabama. I was working at a comedy club that was in a mall. And you had to get in the left-hand lane in order to make the turn in the mall. And at the end of the turn lane was a guy holding a sign. And of course, my luck, I get stopped by the light. Oh my God. How many people react like I did? Hands at 10 and 2, stare straight ahead. Because if you don't make eye contact, it doesn't count. And then sooner or later, you can't help but try to sneak a glance. So it's like, that guy was aggressive. He walked over, he knocked on my window. So I rolled the window down. I said, "Can I help you?" He said, "Yeah, man, you have any money?" And I read a sign. It said, "Please help me feed my 11 hungry children." Wow. Yeah, I could pay for a vasectomy, I guess. Jesus, Goober, you're overworking that thing. Next night, I get to the same turn lane, same guy's there, only now the sign says, "Please help me feed my 3 hungry children." I went, that is so cool. Good old-fashioned American ingenuity right here in the heart of the South. He's eating the kids.
This one night, this gal and we were looking up at the stars, waiting for a shooting star, looking for one. And apparently I'd been doing it wrong every time prior. I was just staring at one and waiting for it to move. And that explains why my vision is so bad now, because I was doing it during the daytime. The sun is a star. Anyway, her and I were looking up at the stars, and at one point she's like, "Oh, John, there's one. You should make a wish." And I thought about it for a second, and I was like, in a galaxy far away, there's potentially a planet that just lost its sun, and billions of people just froze to death. But I hope your wish comes true. Then she was like, "John, shooting stars aren't actually stars, they're meteors, you idiot." And I was like, "Nope, not that one. I wished that one was a star." So, yeah, that night ended quickly. Also, you would know this by looking at me, but I am frustrated with astronauts. because every time I see one on television, they're like, yes, you know when you're standing on the moon and you're looking back at Earth, it's truly a unique, one-of-a-kind experience. There's absolutely nothing else in this universe like it. Because my thought has always been, well, you know, if you're standing on the Mexico-Texas border in the desert at night and you're looking up at the moon, it's kind of like it. I mean, it is the same distance. And like, I wouldn't even have to go through the ozone layer or go to Purdue for 8 years. And then if there ever actually was a problem, Houston's only like 5 hours away.
Hey, let me ask you a question. I ask this everywhere I go, and I have for probably 20 years. What is the maximum number of handicap spaces a Walmart has to have? Boy, are you off. Went over to the Beach Grove Walmart on the way here, okay? Otherwise known as the Women's World Wrestling Association. 48 handicap parking spaces. Now, when's the last time you saw 48 handicapped people at Walmart that didn't work there? You know, I'm so far out in the parking lot, I'm literally standing next to my car waiting on the tram. I'm in Scooby-Doo 3. Okay. Oh, good. 2 people been to Kings Island. Thanks for that tip, Jerry. Oh, Walmart. You know, Walmart hires a lot of the elderly, and God bless them for doing that, because Lord knows the government's ripped them off every way they can. So at least Walmart will give them jobs. They hire them, and then they play a nasty trick on them. What's the sign say? 3 shelves up, every aisle at Walmart. If you need assistance above this point, please ask. Who? Yeah. Hey, Grandpa. Yeah, you in the vest. Cool. Shuffle on over. I'd like to have a look at that Maytag washer dryer set there on the top shelf. While you're up there, grab that 300-pound Olympic weight set. We'll pump up. Bring that John Deere 12 horsepower tractor down here. We'll go for a ride. I'll drop your ass off at the pharmacy for nitroglycerin.
Are you all familiar with Robert Frost, The Road Less Traveled?
Yep.
Yes. For those of you who aren't, it reads, 2 roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. But sometimes I think it's all about the direction you're going or where you're coming from. Let's say that, for instance, he was coming from the exact opposite direction, then it may have sounded something like this. 2 roads merged in the wood, and so I kept walking. Down the only path available to me. And I don't know, everyone else was on the same path. It was almost as if our future had already been planned out for us. And there were never any crossroads to cross. I never had to make any decisions. Got a little depressed, a little despondent even. And I don't know. I guess that's made all the indifference. And I'm thinking about becoming an accountant. I wonder if he submitted that originally to a publisher, and they were like, "We're not printing this. What are you, being sarcastic?" And then he was like, "Fine then, whatever. I'll just go home." And then that's when he figured it out.
Sold Amway for a while. Oh my God, I sold Amway. Door to door. 3rd shift. Hey, I figured it was the only way I could ever get even with them damn Jehovah's Witnesses. What is wrong with those people? Saturdays. They come knocking on your door early. What? 4:30? I drink, and I'm an entertainer. I still got ice in my glass at 7 o'clock. What the hell? You're laying in bed after a tough night. You're just all sprawled out. They come knocking on the door, 4:30 in the morning. God, you roll out of bed, you grab your robe, you got it half on, half off. You're waddling to the door because you're hungover as hell. You rip open the door ready to kill whoever's ever on the other side. And who is it? Some sweet little old lady. And she's there to sell you shit at 4:30 in the morning. Damn. She's not unlike your own sainted mother. And she wants to sell you those magazines. Watchtower and the Awake. Yeah. Yeah, well, I usually say, lady, if I had a Watchtower, I wouldn't be awake right now. I'm not a good shot, but I could have picked your slow ass off at the sidewalk, okay?
So one time I was walking out of the post office, and this woman was coming the other way, and we didn't see each other, and we ran into each other. And she was like, sir, you scared the living daylights out of me. You need to watch where you're going. And I was like, well, you know, I thought to myself, ma'am, you kind of ran into me too. But I said to her what I thought was most rational at the time. I said, ma'am, at what point do you find it necessary to make daylight plural? It's like, because the last time I checked, there was just a sunlight. I was like, you know what? No use arguing about it now. We'll come back in the nighttime and look for them in the darknesses. And she looked at me like she wanted to hit me, so I was like, well, ma'am, just calm down, take a deep breath, breathe in the airs, or go into your car and listen to some music. And then she huffed and walked away, and as she did, I was like, well, you know, ma'am, lady, I thought we might have had something here, you and I, but now that I think about it, probably not. You wouldn't go for a guy like me. I mean, I am singular.
You know, I can't stay long tonight. I gotta get home and watch my favorite TV show, Cops. Any Cops fan? Well, look where we're at. You know, I really have to give Jerry a compliment. You know, he asked me if I'd do this for him, and I said, absolutely, we're old friends, I'm glad to do it. You know, he goes, well, I can't pay you. I get here, now I understand why. He spent all the budget on the decor. That's a nice touch, too, by the way. I'd kind of like to have that curtain. Jerry, is that for sale? No, I love to watch Cops. The other night I'm watching it, and this guy, it was so hilarious. He steals a car, drives away from the cops. They chase him. He finally jumps out of the car, runs across the lawn, through a backyard, over the fence, riverbank down, across the river, up the bank, jumps another fence, and they finally catch up to him in this gravel lot, and they throw him down and beat the shit out of him. And then they pick him up, drag him through the gravel lot, over the fence, riverbank down, riverbank up, through the backyard to get him in the car, and they go, hey, watch your head.
A lot of people, when they look at me, they're like, man, John, you're like way low energy. And my reply is always, well, you know, there's light bulbs out there that are only 60 watt, and then there are 13, watt light bulbs out there too, and they do just the same amount of work as the 60 watt ones. Perhaps I'm just energy efficient. That's why I'll forget to breathe for 15 seconds, like every 5 minutes. Then I only pee like once a day. But anyway, do you all know what the difference between George Clinton and Bill Clinton is? No? It's Clinton. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. What do George Clinton and Bill Clinton have in common?
Walgreens, around a year or so ago, went to the drugstore just to get something for a minor medical problem, nothing serious. They had a display, a 3-shelf, 8-foot long, and all it had on it was hundreds of jars of, how can I say it, cream that would help a man remain in the mood. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, that is a frickin' waste of money. What man is going to walk up to the 18-year-old cashier and set that shit down? The only way a man will get a jar of that home is if he shoplifted. So when I got home with my jar, I'm reading the instruction label. And I swear to God, it says this. Rub this cream on your male sexual organ 15 minutes prior to the act. If I rub something on my male sexual organ for 15 minutes prior to the act, I don't need the act anymore.
If I ever had a child, I would name him I, and not E-Y-E, but the letter I, because I feel that my firstborn should have the opportunity to speak in the first and third person simultaneously. And then I'd also like to create bad grammar for anyone who refers to him. For instance, I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I is doing. Or, I'm not playing checkers, I cheats at checkers. Or, there's no I in team, except for I is on our team. And then, of course, there's the ever-popular, I is at this air show. Which isn't funny because it's a callback to a joke that I'm not going to do.
And what is it about you women? I'll tell you what, men will never give you our wallets. You'll hand over that purse for any reason. You pack it, you carry it. Guys, you want to know how to slow that down? Next time she hands you her purse, open it. Ooh, they don't like that. One time she's in Penny's, I'm not in Sears. I'm not allowed to go in Sears. And I'm at the other end of the mall where Sears is, and I'm sitting on the bench having a nice conversation with probably a couple of you guys that are also sitting on the bench. And I reach down and open my wife's purse. She's at the other end of the mall in Penny's. 4 seconds, boom, what are you doing? I'm just seeing what you got in there. What the hell is this flashlight? When you turn it on, it vibrates. I don't get that.
I found an effective way to let someone know that they talk too much is to buy them a podium. Put with it a note that reads, "This is to accommodate for all that talking that you do. Are you even aware that you don't have to be arrested in order to have the right to remain silent? It's a right you have at any time." I mean, some of you are exercising that currently. So anyway, speaking of awkward, the apology I get most from my friends is this one. They'll say, "Sorry, John, We didn't know that you were in the room. And out of all of the, the hundreds of times I've heard that, only one time was I actually hiding. And I was, it was under the bed, and it was gross.
Love to eat. But I got to tell you, really, it's hard to lose weight. Would you guys not agree that that's probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do? I know it is for me. Man, when I go on a diet, the first 3 days, I am gung-ho as hell. No thanks. Watching what I eat. Cheesecake. No thanks, I'm on a diet. Day 4. I'm out looking for skinny fuckers to slap the shit out of. And it's hard to lose weight. I've tried everything. Tried every fad diet there was. Actually, I'm on one now. Oh, what a winner this fucker is. It's hard-boiled eggs and sauerkraut. Trust me, if you see me coming out of the bathroom, don't follow me in unless you got a gas mask and a canary.
I had a friend call me one time, and she was like, John, where do you get your prescriptions filled? And I said, I go to Roger. And she was like, what? And I said, I go to Roger. She said, you go to a person to get your prescription drugs? And I said, what? And then she was like, whatever, John, I go to the Kroger on County Line in Emerson. And I was like, well, wait a minute, that's where I go. Oh, wait, you mean the K isn't silent? It's like, next you're going to tell me your name's not Ristina.
No, I've had road rage. I'm sure we've all had road rage at one time or another. Had it this morning. I'm leaving my driveway. Guy cuts me off. And then he says something to me. I roll my window down. I say something back at him. We're moving through the neighborhood side by side. He's cussing me. I'm cussing him. He flips me off. I finally just swerved right into it. Knocked the little fucker off his bicycle. Papers went everywhere.
I have it in my will that at my funeral, my family is to put me in a life preserver. For the irony.